How water crisis is happening globally. What are the reasons and how it will create a head-to-head situation between nations? The global water crisis refers to the current and projected lack of access to safe drinking water and sanitation facilities for a significant portion of the world's population. The water crisis is caused by a range of factors, including 1. Climate change. The changing climate patterns lead to less predictable rainfall patterns, increased evaporation, and prolonged droughts. 2. Population growth. The growing population increases demand for water, leading to depletion of groundwater reserves and overuse of surface water sources. 3. Water pollution. Water pollution from industrial and agricultural activities, and inadequate sanitation, reduces the availability of safe drinking water. 4. Inefficient use. Inefficient irrigation and water management practices lead to significant water loss. The water crisis has the potential to create head-to-head situations between nations, as water resources are unevenly distributed, and some countries may have more access to fresh water than others. This can lead to conflicts over shared water resources, such as rivers or lakes, and the potential for water wars cannot be ruled out. For example, the Nile River is shared by 11 countries, and there have been ongoing tensions between upstream and downstream countries over water use. To prevent such scenarios, it is essential that countries work together to manage water resources sustainably, promote efficient water use, and improve water access and sanitation facilities. This requires international cooperation, investment in infrastructure, and a focus on reducing pollution and protecting water sources. How water crisis will create a war. Water scarcity can create tensions and conflicts between nations that share water resources. When there is a shortage of water, it can lead to competition between different groups, including governments, industries, and individuals, who are all vying for limited water resources. This competition can lead to tensions, disputes, and even violence. In some cases, when a country is facing a severe water crisis, it may resort to using force to secure water resources from its neighboring countries. This can escalate into a full-blown water war. There have been instances in the past where water disputes have led to armed conflict, such as the India-Pakistan water dispute over the Indus River, and the conflict between Israel and its neighbors over the Jordan River. Moreover, water crisis can also exacerbate existing tensions and conflicts, leading to an increase in violence and social unrest. In areas where water scarcity is already a significant issue, it can create a situation where people are struggling to access basic necessities, leading to civil unrest, riots, and violence. In conclusion, while a water crisis may not necessarily lead to war, it can create conditions that increase the likelihood of conflict. Therefore, it is essential that countries work together to manage water resources sustainably and resolve any disputes through peaceful means to prevent the escalation of conflict. Which country is going to be affected the most? What about Nepal? The impacts of the global water crisis are widespread, and the severity of the crisis varies depending on a range of factors such as location, population size, and water management practices. Therefore, it is challenging to pinpoint a single country that will be affected the most. That being said, Nepal is a country that is particularly vulnerable to water scarcity due to its geography, economy, and population size. Nepal is a landlocked country that relies heavily on its river systems for agriculture, energy production, and drinking water. However, Nepal's water resources are under increasing pressure due to climate change, deforestation, and growing demand for water from agriculture, industry, and urbanization. In addition to these factors, Nepal faces significant challenges in managing its water resources sustainably, including inadequate infrastructure, poor governance, and a lack of investment in water management. As a result, Nepal is considered one of the most water-stressed countries in South Asia. However, it is essential to note that the water crisis is a global problem that affects countries across the world, and efforts to address the crisis will require international cooperation and investment in sustainable water management practices. Will this affect the relations with India in future? India and Nepal share a long and complex history, and water has been a contentious issue between the two countries for decades. Several rivers flow from Nepal into India, including the Kosi, Gandak, Mechi, Narayani, Karnali, Mahakali rivers, which are critical sources of water for India's agricultural, energy, and industrial sectors. However, India's water management policies have been a source of tension between the two countries, with Nepal accusing India of prioritizing its own interests over Nepal's. In recent years, there have been several disputes between India and Nepal over water management, including the construction of dams and barrages on shared rivers. These disputes have strained bilateral relations and have the potential to escalate into larger conflicts if left unresolved. Given the vulnerability of Nepal's water resources and the importance of water to India's economy, it is likely that water-related issues will continue to be a source of tension between the two countries in the future. However, it is also essential to note that both India and Nepal have expressed a commitment to resolving water disputes through peaceful means, and efforts are being made to promote cooperation in sustainable water management practices between the two countries. Therefore, while water may continue to be a contentious issue, it is unlikely to completely derail the relationship between India and Nepal. Thanks for watching.